The Washington Post, a reporter over there, captured a disturbing takedown on Saturday. This is how they reported it. Federal agents detained a food delivery driver as he emerged from a Northwest Washington coffee shop Saturday morning, an incident captured on video by numerous witnesses, including a Washington Post reporter, that showed the officers tackling him to the ground, holding him down, and appearing to use a stun gun before driving him away in an unmarked black vehicle. The administration says the driver was in the country illegally. Okay, fine. He's in the country illegally. He's got to get picked up. I get it. During the arrest, witnesses, including the Post reporter, asked the officers to identify themselves numerous times. All but one of those officers, who was wearing the ICE badge, refused. "Oh, are you guys the cops?" One agent who was wearing a hat and a mask responded. "Then shut the fuck up," is what one of those agents said to an eyewitness here in the streets of Washington, D.C. That agent said, "Shut the fuck up," to an American citizen asking what is going on with the police in this city. Two black unmarked police vehicles, an SUV with a Maryland license plate and a sedan, pulled onto R Street Northwest, and more officers swarmed. As they tackled the man to the ground, one of the officers fell, clutched his head, and was dragged out by a colleague. I don't know if you guys saw this video, but in the video you can see one of the officers hits the ground, hits his head on the pavement, and injures himself. All to arrest a food delivery driver. What a shit show. I'm not finished. Eventually, two of the officers escorted the detained man into the backseat of the unmarked SUV, where there was another altercation. As the agents climbed into their vehicles and prepared to drive away, get this, one witness who saw all of this yelled, "You're ruining this country." This is in the Washington Post. One of the officers responded, "Liberals already ruined it." One of the officers said to one of the eyewitnesses, "Liberals already ruined it." Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump's already been president once. He's now president again. I thought he was going to make this country great. Liberals already ruined it? I guess this officer hasn't gotten the memo that Trump has made America great. Give me a break. Give me a break. If you have officers who are conducting these types of activities in the nation's capital, saying things like liberals have already ruined this country, folks, we are on the dark side of the moon. We are on the dark side of the moon. If we have a politicized, Stephen Miller-esque police force sweeping the streets of D.C. and acting like a bunch of goddamn thugs, what has happened to this country? Donald Trump tapped somebody for the Bureau of Labor Statistics who was at January 6th. I'm sorry, what? Just the other day, it was reported a Justice Department official. It was discovered that he had been at January 6th and had been saying, "Kill them," about the police officers, and was involved in the attack on the Capitol. Do we have a government of insurrectionists? Is that what we have now, a government of insurrectionists? And is that government now occupying the nation's capital with members of the National Guard from 4 ruby red Republican states? Is that the situation that we're dealing with in this country right now? That's not America. That's a police state. And people need to understand, in the United States of America, we don't live in a police state. The police are answerable to the people. The police work for the people. The cop cars are supposed to say to protect and serve the people. Not say things like liberals already ruined it. Not that it matters, but I say shame on this police officer for saying such a thing. He needs to have his head examined and his soul searched. That's not what this country is all about. And I'm going to say it again. Kudos to the people of Washington, D.C. for showing the courage and the bravery and the patience and the restraint to put up with this bullshit and put up with this nonsense. But I do ask the question, if a Democratic president were sending the National Guard troops from a Democratic state into a Republican state like Arkansas or South Carolina or Mississippi or Alabama, what would the response be from the local population? The crime statistics show that Memphis and St. Louis have higher crime rates than Washington, D.C. I mean, just game this out. What if a Democratic president were to do this to St. Louis and Memphis? And they started staging in Republican red states. What would happen? As Daniel just said, they'd lose their shit. And so I think it is incumbent upon these Republican lawmakers who are coming back from Washington, and I'm wasting my breath here, to get a hold of this president and tell him, you are out of control, man. What you're doing is out of control. People of Washington, D.C. deserve statehood, not a police state.